Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a whatever public figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. Today, we're going to go ahead and watch 2 TikToks from Amber, and then at the end, I have like a little mini rant if you guys care to stick around for that, but since that's not really part of my regular content, I'm going to just tack that on the end, and if you're not interested, you can just click off when we are done with the TikToks. But let's go ahead and dive into day 11, where she reports that she ate 1,776 calories.
Here's everything I ate today in a calorie deficit. So my breakfast was supposed to be a smoothie. I had it in my Ninja Bullet. I had it calculated and scanned on my FitnessPal. And then I realized it wasn't charged. So then I started charging it. So I had to sit there and wait while my ingredients were literally in the Ninja. So then I make the smoothie and then everything spills everywhere. I had to change my clothes. It went literally everywhere. So that's what I've been doing for the last 30 minutes. So now I'm just like, ugh, I don't even want to eat, but it's good to get that protein in. So I'm going to have this peanut butter cup built puff for 150 calories.
Okay, so for breakfast, this part probably doesn't really matter to you guys, but I just thought it was kind of fun that she said she was going to have a smoothie for breakfast, and I had a smoothie for breakfast, and I almost never have a smoothie for breakfast, so I just thought that was kind of a fun fact, but I don't know how much you guys care about that. Either way, the things that I find funny is, first of all, so she says the whole, like, oh, I made the smoothie and then I spilled the smoothie and it got everywhere. So now I don't even feel like eating, but I got to get my protein in. I still don't understand her obsession with the protein. Yes, for most people, protein is something that, like, keeps you super full. But if you're not even hungry, like, why not wait? The only reason I could see for eating before you're hungry is if you have a issue with eating where if you wait until you get hunger cues, you're more likely to significantly overeat. But if that's the case, she's been very vocal about her eating issues in the past. Why not just say, if I don't have this now, I'm going to be more likely to go off my diet later? So I don't know. It's just those little things, like the way she phrases things, that makes me feel like if you would just be a little bit more upfront about what's going on, then you would probably get a little bit more grace from people, because saying that you don't even feel like hungry, but that you have to hit your protein goal, of course, people are going to have shit to say about that. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that she eats the protein bars or has the protein shakes and think that those should really just be reserved for people who are going to the gym and are too busy to get in, like, full protein, like whole food protein is what I'm trying to say, like a chicken or something like that. And I typically agree with that. I don't think that these protein bars that are not that nutritionally different from a candy bar is a good option for somebody like Amber. That being said, if she is going to have them a day like this where she intended to make a smoothie and it went wrong, I'm not going to fault her for that, because I think we've all been there where you're like cooking something on the stove and it burns and you're just like, ah, screw it. I'm just going to put like a freezer pizza in the oven. Like, I don't want to deal with cooking anymore. So I'm not going to fault her for doing something that I would do if I was in her same shoes. The other thing I'm curious about, and I don't have any proof or reason to think this really, but like, she says that it's really important to get her protein in. I'm really wondering what kind of smoothie she was going to make, because I don't really ever put protein in my smoothies. And she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would put protein powder in a smoothie. Like, I just don't think that's something that she has on hand. So I'm wondering if she's going to do like a banana peanut butter smoothie, because I do know right after she broke up with Jade, her and Jade went to Tropical Smoothie Cafe and she got some kind of peanut butter shake there. And she said, oh my gosh, this tastes just like the shakes I make at home. So she puts peanut butter in her shakes. And so I'm so curious to know what the like nutrition on the shake would have been if she had had it. I hope she has that on a different day so we can see what it would have been like, because I personally find it very hard to get good like macros, I guess, on a shake with like peanut butter in it. I don't know if that's just a me problem. It probably is, but I just feel like, in fact, now that I'm saying this, I feel like maybe I have a weird relationship with peanut butter in general, because a lot of you guys in the comments were saying that you would eat naan bread and peanut butter, and I said I wouldn't. It took me forever to try a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Maybe I just don't like peanut butter the way the rest of you guys do. So I have to like not necessarily find a way to mask it, but like, I don't know. I feel like I always end up adding more fruit or like milk or something like that to something that has peanut butter in it because like it's just so thick and the taste is so strong. So that might be a personal issue that I'm just now realizing after interacting with some of you guys that I have. But either way, like this is getting way too long for just being about the first breakfast. So let's go ahead and jump into lunch.
All right, you guys, it is time for lunch. I have a ton of lettuce, 2 servings of red potatoes that I just cut up, cooked in the air fryer, 2 servings of lean beef, some salsa, serving of cottage cheese, some Tabasco. So my lunch is 615 calories.
Okay, so luckily lunch is the same as it always is, as Zachary Michael would say. And honestly, like, I don't eat cottage cheese, and I'm not going to go out and buy cottage cheese just to see how much half of a cup of a serving is or whatever. But to me, this looks like the amount that she had the first couple of times she said it was half a cup. Some people say that that's a full cup, like that size there is a full cup, and that what I estimated to be a cup of cottage cheese was actually closer to 2 cups. I'm not going to lie, I'm not that great at eyeballing, so you guys can let me know again what you think about the cottage cheese, but I don't think she's weighing it out. I think she's absolutely eyeballing it, so I would not trust her calorie counting on at least the cottage cheese. Realistically, probably a lot of this, but the cottage cheese seems to be the thing that, like, moves around the most in terms of what she considers to be a serving.
It's dinner time, so I made some fried rice because I had leftover chicken from last night and I just wasn't sure what to do with it. So I was like, you know what? I have some rice, I have some eggs, I have soy sauce, sriracha, scallions. So that's everything that's in there. So it's like a fried rice type deal. And then in the air fryer, I just seasoned some asparagus and cooked them till they were almost burnt. That is how I like my asparagus. If you pick it up and it doesn't stay straight, that's perfectly cooked for me. So my dinner is 670 calories.
I guess the dinner is fine. I don't feel like I would be leaning towards having fried rice on a weight loss journey. But that being said, and this is a big if she measured her oil, because we've seen her in the past say that she's adding like a little bit of oil and it is a lot of oil. And so if she's measuring her oil, I don't think it's like the worst thing that she could do, because I can see where, like, basically I am enjoying the fact that she is using the same foods over and over again. Like, I like the fact that she's eating like a normal person would, in terms of like, oh, I have leftover chicken and I have rice. Like, what can I make with this? So I don't want to like get too nitpicky, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like rice is just not a good diet food. I guess some people can handle it, but I feel like I really overeat on rice. And from what we know about Amber, I feel like she also is the kind of person to really overeat on rice. So probably not the choice that I would have made, because I think she also said that the only thing that she had left over that she was trying to figure out what to do was like leftover chicken. So there's a lot she could have done with leftover chicken without making fried rice.
All right, it is snack time. I'm gonna have this whole bag of Harvest Snaps. The flavor is sour cream and onion. It's just baked red lentil. And the whole bag is 340 calories. So this is it for the night. That leaves me at 1,776 calories ate.
All right, her snack is fine. I don't have any issue with that. Like, if she's going to get a packaged food and eat the entire package, I trust that more than her weighing it out. I do feel like I have to say this real quick, because without this video is going to be kind of weird. Obviously, in order to look at her TikToks, I see the most recent ones first, and I have seen a couple of full body shots recently, like as in like she uploaded today. So I've seen a full body shot from today, and then she had 2 other ones where she had her full body in the shot. I think they're exercise videos based on the way that she's standing, and then she did a little TikTok trend one. So if I sound like I'm being a little bit more harsh or talking about her eating off camera a little bit more in this video, it's because I told you before I wasn't going to say anything until we saw some proof. And to me, if she was 2 weeks on this diet, eating the calories that she is reporting having eaten, we would be able to see some weight loss. And I just don't see that at all. Her like hand, wrist, arm area is looking extremely, I guess, I don't even know if to say swollen. It's looking very full, I would definitely say. Her face is still looking very full. Like, I just don't see weight loss happening. And so if I sound a little bit more skeptical of her measurements and stuff, that's why. Because as I've said pretty much every single time that I react to one of these videos, she could eat 3,000 calories a day and lose weight still. So for her to be in this much of a calorie deficit, she should be like, the pounds should be falling off like nothing's going on, you know? She should be very visibly having lost weight. So I just wanted to explain that so that you guys don't think that I am just like adjusting my attitude based on the comments. It's because I saw the way that she's looking recently, and so I feel like it is safe to say that she has been eating off camera, or at the very least severely misrepresenting what she is eating, whether that be just mismeasuring every single thing, or doubling up on portions, or showing us what she's eating but then going for leftovers that are not reported. And any number of things could be happening, but I just feel pretty confident saying that she is not sticking to the diet that she is claiming to be sticking to. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what she ate on day 12. And then, like I said, I do have a little mini rant for you guys at the end.
This is everything I ate today in a calorie deficit. I have a serving of pickled onions, a serving of carrots. I cooked some asparagus in the air fryer. And then I have a cheddar jalapeno chicken burger with a fried egg on top and a little bit of Tabasco. And my breakfast comes out to 330 calories. All right, it is lunchtime. I have a half a serving of wild blueberries, 2 mini pickles, 2 green olives with garlic. And I made a wrap with rotisserie chicken, lettuce, mustard, 2 Laughing Cow cheeses, pickled onions, pepper, and a drizzle of Italian dressing. My lunch came out to 479 calories. Oh, and this is a spinach wrap. All right, it is time for dinner. I have 2 servings of Brussels sprouts, 2 servings of potatoes, 2 servings of lean beef with salsa, and a half a serving of cottage cheese. This is pretty much what I eat every night, but deconstructed minus the lettuce, and I added Brussels sprouts instead. My dinner is 770 calories. It is snack time. I have a serving of jalapeno popcorners, a clementine, and some brie cheese. So for my snack, it's 225 calories. I'm ending the day having ate 1,804 calories.
Okay, I didn't even really want to cut this one up because I didn't have much to say about any of the meals. The breakfast looks really good. Just like I said last time that she had a similar breakfast, I personally would have not had the egg and maybe added in, like, I don't know, a different form of protein, just because I feel like that's not a combination that I would necessarily want. Like, the rest of this meal is reading very, like, late lunch to me, so the egg kind of is throwing me off a little bit, but that's personal preference. She can eat whatever she wants to. That being said, like, as we go through this, so the breakfast is fine. The lunch is exactly what we've seen before, like literally pickles, olives, blueberries, and a wrap. She has the dinner that is like the deconstructed taco bowl that she's been eating, but like she says, she swapped the lettuce for Brussels sprouts, which the only thing I'm going to say on that is she says that that's 2 servings of Brussels sprouts. I don't really see that at all, because 1 serving of Brussels sprouts is like 6 Brussels sprouts. That's a huge mountain of Brussels sprouts. So again, I don't think that that is accurate to what she's actually eating, but we already know at this point that she does not accurately count her calories. And then we're still with the pop chips for snack, which at this point I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, are you sponsored? Give it a rest. How do you eat like the same thing for a whole week? I mean, over a week, really. Like I can kind of see the first week, because like, okay, for me, I'll go out to the store and I'll buy like a bag of chips, and that's like my snack for the week. So obviously I would have the same thing, but she gets like the little individual baggies. But I bet you more than anything, she probably got those at like either at a big box supplier like Costco, where you just get like a million of those little bags, or she bought one of those, they're like a box of mini bags that they sell at Walmart. So you can get like 20 mini bags in a box. So, you know, I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like, this is exactly what I was saying about her, it being a bad idea for her to film her food as content, because it's boring content. Like, all of these meals we've seen before. And I know I just said that I'm happy to see her eating like a normal person, where she's using the components that she has in her fridge for each meal. But like, I eat a decently varied diet. I do have the same things for like breakfast and lunch generally, but my dinners always look very, very different. I really cycle that out. And if I can, I like to try to change my breakfast and lunch around a little bit, you know? So like, even in the morning, if I'm having like yogurt and granola with fruit, I try to like cycle through different fruits and stuff just to make it a little bit different. And then for lunch, like, let's say one day I have a wrap like Amber has. The next day I might have a sandwich, or, you know, I might use the components of what I would have for the wrap in a little salad or something. Like, obviously, I know we're all kind of shoehorned in right now because of this outbreak going on in America, where people are really skeptical about what fresh fruits and vegetables they can eat. Either way, so back to Amber. Yeah, I think this was kind of a boring day of eating. And at this point, I'm starting to kind of just feel very over it. Okay, if you're not here for my rant, then you can go ahead and click off at this point, and we'll jump back into the catching up with the TikToks in tomorrow's video. But right now, I want to talk about what is going on behind the scenes, so to speak. So Amber looks just as full in the newer stuff that she's posting as she did on day one of her diet. And I do not think that that is possible. I think that it is very unlikely that she would have lost upwards of 20 pounds and that her face looks exactly the same as it did on day one of her diet. I have said multiple times that I was only going to react to what she was eating on screen and just assume for the most part that she is telling the truth. And I have said that I understand that that's going to look delusional, but that I just think it makes for better content for you guys. Like, my personal belief has always been that she's eating more off camera, but that I think it's kind of like no fun in a YouTube video to be like, well, whatever, we know that she's eating more off camera every single time. Like, that just gets boring. So I opted not to do that. At this point, though, it's just frustrating because it's like she's not counting calories correctly on camera. She is still saying that she's sticking to her diet, which I can tell because, again, just looking at her TikToks, I see that she's still posting plates of the same diet foods. She's giving advice out to people, which the biggest issue I have with this, yes, it is annoying. It's annoying to sit here and listen to somebody give advice on something that they are not doing. But more than that, I always try to think about the people who are watching Amber and are on their own weight loss journey. Do I think it's a little silly if you're taking weight loss advice from Amber? Yes. On the other hand, there are people on TikTok who are coming across her for the first time. Her comments are extremely positive on her weight loss diet TikToks, being like, you've got this, you're doing so great. So I think it's fully possible that somebody will get weight loss advice from Amber and think that she's on a good journey because of how positive a lot of her comment sections are on there. So I don't like it for that fact. That's what really irritates the heck out of me. But then it's like recently, and this is all, keep in mind, this is all just me reading stuff about Amber and not actually watching her content. I believe it because it's on all of the sources I usually use to find out what's going on in girl world, like Reddit and things like that. So either way, I have seen people talk on Reddit, on YouTube, about her weight loss journey evolving to now include exercise. And when I see her TikTok screen, it looks like she has weight loss TikToks up where she's doing exercise. I don't want to watch them until we get there in the timeline. But my point being, I think it's gotten to the point where she is realizing, shit, my diet is not working because I'm eating significantly more than what I'm showing. I'm not weighing things out. And realistically, I think if you catch my YouTube safe meaning, that she is still participating in a large amount of overeating right before bed, just like she has always struggled with, because she's never bothered to get her like psychology portion of the issue taken care of. Those are my personal thoughts. But now she's like, I have to do something because it's going to catch up to me. They're going to notice. So she's like, well, if I incorporate some movement in, it'll just magically go away. Because that's how Amber is, you know, she doesn't really think it through about like what is possible and what is not possible. She just goes like, oh my God, I need to fix it. And then does what she can to fix it. And then when she realizes that there's no going back, then she just like is basically like, oh, well, you know, I'm not a weight loss channel. I don't want to talk about my weight anymore. I'm going to continue my diet, but I'm not sharing with you guys because you guys are being mean or whatever she says. You know, it's a different excuse every time. But basically that's what we kind of see when we're phasing out the diet. And so it's just frustrating because it's like, while I didn't believe what she was saying, that she was eating was like realistic, I did think that her approach to the diet was more realistic this time. So I thought like, okay, let's say she's eating 2,000 calories on camera. And then let's say she's eating another 500 to 1,000 calories off camera. Her basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories that would be like evened out basically, is 3,400. So even if she were laying in bed, if she ate 3,400 calories, she would not like lose or gain. You know, that's just to sustain her. Now, we know she is moving, not only because I said she's doing the little exercises or whatever, but she's getting up to cook her own food. She's taking Twinkie outside. Even if it's not for a walk, she is getting up out of her house and taking Twinkie outside, I hope. Maybe that is also giving her too much credit. She might just be relying on pee pads fully, but I would hope she's at least walking Twinkie outside and letting Twinkie use the grass. I was going to say she's getting DoorDash orders, but I guess if she's not getting DoorDash orders, which I would believe that part because she is struggling with money, then we can't count that. But either way, I'm just saying she's not just laying in bed. She is getting up and doing some movement. So she should be losing a significant amount of weight, eating even close to 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day. So that tells me she's wasting all of her time by filming all of this shit, knowing that she's eating. It's got to be at least double. For her to not be losing either any weight or an amount of weight that is visible on her, she has to be eating at least 4,000 calories a day, which means you can take everything she's showing in her video and just double that. And it's just frustrating. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but I guess because of the fact that I've never been a content creator before when she's gone through her cycle, it is just like you really sit here and think about how much time you spend watching her eat this stuff, thinking in your brain like, okay, do the calories make sense? And I have counted a couple of her calorie days on the earlier days and thought that they made sense. So I'm like, okay, I think it makes sense. I think maybe I can give her a little bit of trust, a little bit of leash. And then for me, not for you guys, but for me, I have to go through, I have to edit what I said. I have to like re-record sections, especially with the pregnancy. Sometimes I record and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like way too rude. I need to go back and like redo that part, or, oh, I'm out of breath. You can't even hear what I'm saying. I need to like go back. So it is truly like so frustrating to see that I've done all of this work over the last couple of weeks for it to just be like, oh, well, she was lying the whole time. You know what I mean? And I get that that's my fault. I'm really not trying to add to the like growing list of content creators who complain about their job. I'm just like saying why I think that this time is hitting differently for me versus the times that I've viewed it just as like a viewer. But either way, it is really frustrating, and I'm getting back into being very irritated by her. Like, I don't know, because it's like, she's not giving us any content. She said she'd be back to YouTube, and she's not, which no surprise there. I freaking knew she wasn't really going to be back. And then the content we do get is like inauthentic. It's faked. It's not real. Like, I don't know. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If I talk about this anymore, I'm just going to be looping. So I hope for those of you who like it when I get a little ranty that was enjoyable for you. And hopefully the people that don't like it when I get a little ranty have already left. So, you know, if you guys made it this far, I really do appreciate you listening to me my pregnancy hormones are definitely affecting a lot of how I'm consuming this content right now. And I know that for some of you that is fun, and for some of you that is like annoying. But speaking on that, I'm going to go a little bit more into detail on this probably next week, but I am going to be changing my schedule soon to be a little less intensive, because that way I can film some content for during my maternity leave, because that is coming up a lot faster than what I feel like I'm prepared for. But yeah, so if you guys made it this far, you already know, stay Delulu, but not that Delulu, and I'll catch you in the next one.